Good day to you all. My name is Gabriel Mendoza, and today I'm gonna continue my report about my second week. Next we will go to data format. So, what is a data format? Data format refers to the way data is organized and structured in a computer system. It can refer to the format of individual data elements, such as text, numbers, images, or audio, as well as the overall structure of the data, such as tables, lists, or databases. Data formats can vary wildly and can include plain text, binary files, structured data formats like XML or JSON, and proprietary formats used by specific software applications. So, what are the importance of the data format? The importance of data format lies in its ability to efficiently and accurately represent and communicate data. A well-defined data format helps ensure that data can be easily understood and processed by different software programs, hardware systems, and users. For example, if data is stored in an easily accessible and standardized format, it can be shared and used by multiple applications. So, iaalaw niya for greater collaboration and integration of systems. So, for example, just like I'm using GitHub, so more collaborations kasi it is easy to be accessible and standardized yung format. So, any languages, even plain text can be put in GitHub, even photos or videos. So next, let's move on to the most common data types. Numeric data types. Numeric data types are a class of data formats that are used to represent numerical values. So from the word itself, numbers. The most commonly used numeric data types includes integers, floating point numbers, and complex numbers. So the integers are whole numbers that can be positive, negative, or zero. So floating point numbers are numbers with fractional values that are represented with a decimal point. And last is the complex numbers are numbers that consist of a real part and imaginary part and are commonly used in mathematical and scientific calculations. So the numeric data types mainly focuses on numbers. Next are the character and string data types. So, a character and string data types are an important part of data formats as they are used to represent and store text-based information. So, from the word itself, character and string. So, it saves a character and a string. So, these data types include characters with a single letter or symbols, strings, which are sequences of characters and symbols, which are a special type of string used to represent mathematical or logical operators. They are typically used to store names, addresses, titles, and other types of text information. So next, we'll move on to the Boolean data types. Boolean in coding means 1 or 0, true or false. So fundamental building blocks in computer programming are used to represent binary data. Just like I said, it could be true or false, represented as 1 or 0. Boolean data types are used in decision-making statements, conditional statements, and logic operations. They are essential in the implementation of algorithms and play significant role in the control flow of programs. So basically, it is true or false. It could be if-else in programming language. So basically, ginagamit yung Boolean data sa programming language. So if you are happy, if you're true, happy, you are happy. If not false, you are not happy. So that's a good example of Boolean data type. So next, let's move on to the date and time data types. So the date and time data types from the word itself focuses on date and time. So it is essential for various applications and databases as they provide a standard way of representing and manipulate the date and time values. They help to eliminate human errors and inconsistencies that can occur when manually recording and processing time-sensitive information, and provide a consistent format for data exchange between systems. So basically, yung ginagawa ng date and time is siya na yung nag-aano sa oras. For example dito, which is you can see, it is 10:34 a.m. So siya na mismo yung nag-iisip ng time para magkaroon ng less human error and inconsistencies kasi maaari magkaroon ng yung tao ng error sa pag-compute sa time kasi maraming mga various numbers that required in computing a time, especially when you add a date. So next, let's go to the binary data types. So a binary data types are essential data format used in computer systems to store and manipulate binary data. So which is data that is stored as a sequence of zeros and ones. So it is not true or false, it's only a sequence of zeros and ones. So these data types are used to represent binary data, including large binary files, such as images, videos, and audio files. Binary large objects, or the blobs, are large data files stored in a binary format, and binary data streams are used to represent continuous binary data such as an audio or video streams. So sa binary data types, dito nilalagay yung mga videos, images, and even the audio files. So the next is the array data types. So the array data types are a collection of multiple values of the same data type stored in contiguous memory locations. Arrays allow for efficient storage and retrieval of data and are used in many applications, from simple programs that store a list of numbers to complex systems that manage large amounts of data. The size of an array is fixed, meaning that once an array is created, its size cannot be changed. However, arrays can be indexed, meaning that individual elements can be accessed and manipulated. So, yung sa mga array, so an array is a list. So, yun, doon mo ilalagay yung, kunwari, 1 to 10, ilalagay mo yun sa list. So, ilalagay mo yun dun sa number. So, yung 1 to 10 yun na yung mismong array. So, you can duplicate it. Yung sabi dito, magkakaroon ka ng, you can manipulate it. So, and access to many arrays. So, yung array na yun, ilalagay mo siya sa isang object. So, yung 1 to 10, next is comma, 11 to 20. So you have a group of array now inside an object. So next, let's go to a structured data types. Structured data types are used to represent structured data, such as tables or records. So this represents tables and the records in a database. Structured data, excuse me, refers to the data that is organized into a specific structure, such as a database table or a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet could be Excel, docs, just like that, and is stored in a way that allows it to be easily searched and manipulated. Structured data types provide a way to represent the structured data in a computer program or database, allowing it to be easily processed, stored, and retrieved. So, ayun, pwede mo siya makuha. So, the example of this are the spreadsheets, mga JSON files, and an XML data. So, next is an enumerated data types. Enumerated data types are particularly useful, okay, particularly useful in software development. So, sa paggawa ng software development. So, where they provide a convenient way to define and manage a set of predefined values. So, for example, an enumerated data type can be used to represent a set of status codes such as pending, kung approve ba siya, or rejected. These status codes can then be used in code logic to determine the next steps in a process or to trigger specific actions. So, gaya dito sa example, kung pending, di niya pa pwedeng ipadala. Approve, papadala ng seller, for example, and rejected, hindi papadala ng seller kasi ni-reject. So next, let's go to the object data types. So object data types are a fundamental concept in object-oriented programming, or the OOP. Languages such as Java, C++, and Python. In OOP, objects are instances of classes which define the properties and behavior of the objects. Objects contain data in the form of attributes and methods which define the actions that the object can perform. Object data types allow for the creation and manipulation of objects, which can be used to modern real-world entities in software. So here, for example, an object of the class car might have attributes such as make, the model, year, and color. So the methods of the class car might include drive, stop, and turn. So next is the null data types. So a null data types, also known as null values, from the word itself, null, walang value or wala siyang laman, is a special marker used in database systems and programming languages to indicate a value does not exist. So wala siyang value. These values are used to represent the absence of a value and can be considered as a placeholder. So in databases, null values are often used to indicate that a particular field has not yet been assigned a value or that a value is unknown or missing. So for example, a person's last name may be unknown and represented by a null value in the database. So next, let's go to a text or character data types. So a text data types are essential for storing and processing textual information in databases and programming languages. They come in different forms, each suited to a specific use case. The char data type is used for fixed length text, the varchar for variable length text, and text for large amount of text. So specialized types like nchar and nvarchar supports multiple languages. So these types of data are widely used in many applications and industries to store and process textual informations from names and addresses to product description and customer comments. So for example is MySQL and MongoDB. So next, let's go to the spatial data types. And this is the last. So these types are used in GIS and mapping. So ginagamit siya sa pag-mapping to represent a geographic features and locations. So the common types include geometry, point, line, and polygon. These are also specialized types such as multi-point, multi-line string, and multi-polygon. In programming, special data types are often represented using specific libraries or classes such as the JTS library in Java. So next, we will move on to the different technologies applied in data format. So different technologies applied in data format include file formats such as CSV, JSON, XML. So gaya dun sa mga binigay ko example kanina, yung mga file format na CSV, JSON, XML is pwedeng ma-apply dun sa data format sa paggawa ng mga database management system as well, sa relational databases like sa NoSQL, yan for the MongoDB and the MySQL. Data storage solutions like Hadoop, cloud storage especially, pwede example dito is GitHub kasi pwede mo ilagay dito yung mga videos, images, and even music. And lastly is the data compression and encoding techniques like the gzip or the base64. So yung base64 is a hash for password. So that's all for my data format report. Thank you for listening.